Hello
Hello
all, it
all.
was
I hope
absolutely
I hope you've had a
wonderful to
lovely
see
weekend.
you
As
last
promised,
Wednesday.
from
I
now
think
on, I
that
will
at
be
least we
sending
got a
out
taste
a
of what the
video of
Socratic
my
seminar can
screen
be like, and I hope
and
that
in
we can
hopes
continue it
that it makes
next time we all
navigating
meet
the
in person,
classwork and
and
the
then also try
expectations
our hand at literature
more
circles, which I
clear
also
and
love,
more
and I
manageable.
want to make
I
sure
will
that we
say this is
experience as a class.
an intense course.
Um, so I
It
know that there
is
were
one
questions
of the
around the
anchor
reading
courses for this
survey,
program,
and I just wanted to make a really
and
quick
it
video
is
showing
tied
you what it
to
was
the
and
material that
discussing
you're
the objective.
covering
So
and
the
will be
reading
covering
survey
in
objective
Learning Lab.
is
So
to
I can't
get to know
or
your
won't
students
deny
and
that
their reading
there is a
patterns
certain
more
level of
closely.
intensity to it,
Rarely do we
but
have
that should
time
not
or
include
make the time, I
confusion.
should
So I
say, for
really want to
this
make
type
sure
of
that I do my
conferencing
best
early on
to make
in the beginning of the year. So
the
I think
expectations
that these are
as
best done
transparent
as
as
early
possible.
as possible.
So
And you really
when
want
you
to
go into your
get
Google
a
Classroom,
gauge
it has
what kind of
changed. It has
reader
changed
the
even
student
for
is,
me.
whether they're
If you were
struggling,
Google
what
Classroom
they're
users
struggling
before, you'll
with.
see that I
It's
think
a
in
very
trying to make
easy, quick
it
way to
easier,
gauge
they've actually made
fluency
it a
and
bit more
prosody,
complicated.
any decoding issues.
So
And
what
I'm
you
sure
need to
that some
do
of you are
when you come into
very
Google
familiar with
Classroom,
this
the first thing that
already,
I would
in
do as a
terms
student is go
of having the
straight to your
student read
classwork,
and counting
because that
miscues
is
and
where I will be
whatnot. But
posting
this
the
is a little bit
material,
more
the
than that,
task
because you're really
lists,
getting to know
and the
the
actual
student through the
due,
survey and their survey
the work
questions.
that's due and the
So what I would
slots
do first
to
is
be
I would
able
begin
to
with the
complete it.
adolescent motivation to read
So this week, I have
article, and I
posted
would
the
definitely at
weekly
least
task
read
list.
that article if
This
nothing else,
became
since
available for you
it
guys
gives you a good
Sunday,
indication of
and
why
it
we
will
do this
always
and
be
how
made
to do it
available Sunday
well.
afternoon.
I would
And
also read
all assignments
Disrupting
will
Dismantling Visions of
always
Youth
be
and Color
due
in
Saturday
Young
by
Adolescent Literature, and
midnight.
then I would begin with the actual survey. So if you
So
click here,
are there
this
exceptions
is
to
the
that?
first
As you
link
know,
takes you to
you're
the
all
actual
adults.
survey, and I think this
There
is where
could
some
be
of you
exceptions to that.
had most of the questions.
You need
So
to text
when
me
you open up the
before
survey,
and
you'll see,
ask.
and as always, you have to make
I
a
will
copy of
say
this
that on the syllabus
and
it
share
states
it
that
under
there
your
are no
upload
exceptions
it under
and
your own
that
name
I will
once
not accept
you've done it.
late
But
work.
it begins
I
with
will
a
also tell
prompt
you
that asks
that I've
students what they're
seen
reading right
many
now,
of
and
you
this handout
hand in
assumes that the
assignments
student is
that
already reading a
have
novel.
been
So if it's a
posted
student in your
late,
class that's already reading a
and
novel,
because there's been some
then or
confusion
anything
and because it
else,
was so difficult
if it's a
to
history
get
class,
into the
primary,
classroom
secondary documents that you'd be reading
because
that
of
week,
setting up the
then
SOE
you
emails,
can
I am not
use
counting
this one.
anything
If
late
you're
beyond
actually
this week
the
and
student
this
isn't reading or
video,
anything, and you've
unless you
already
have
asked the student
received
what they're reading and they told you
approval from
nothing,
me,
then you
I
can
will
go
not
ahead
accept any
and
late
select
assignments.
something
But
for
up
them
to
to read.
now, everything
In
is
which
okay. I am
case,
not counting anything late. I am not
you can use the
disqualifying you or
second one,
taking any points off
where
for
you see the
assignments that you've handed
I
in.
would say it's about
So
the
when
third page
you
down.
embark
This
on
is a
your weeks,
completely
which you will do
different.
Sunday
The
afternoon,
set of
because
questions
that's
are the
when
same, but the expectation is different.
the
As
assignment
in,
is
maybe the
released. If
student
you
isn't
decide
actually
to
reading
open this up
something
on Tuesday,
already.
well then that's up
So
to
I
you.
think this gets
But
at the heart of
I
one of the
would,
questions
as
that
a
was asked
student,
the other day.
begin with
So if
the
you have a
week
student that's already reading a novel, then you can definitely use this
task
first
list,
part.
because that's
and if
where
not,
all
then
of the
you can use the
information
one
will
that
be
begins on the
in
third
terms
page.
of what's due
But
and
that
how to
has,
do
I
it.
said,
And then
very
as I go through this
similar
document,
prompts.
I'll explain my
So what I would
thinking
do
around it
for either
and
one
how
of
it
these is that
works.
I would set
So
up a
you
meeting with
open
the
up the
student,
task list. You will
and
always
then
see on
I
top
would say to
that I
them,
list
when we actually
everything
meet to do this
that will
survey,
be on this task
I'm going
list.
to ask
That doesn't
you,
mean,
I'll have a
however,
copy of the
that
same
there
book
is
that you're
a
reading,
task
and I'll ask you to read a
related to
page from
each
it.
one of them.
So
sometimes, like last week,
what
I
you
just
can
want
do
you to
is you
review
either have an
something
actual copy of
because
the
I
book,
want
or
you
you
to
ask
become
them
acquainted with
to let you borrow the book,
work,
and you make a copy
and
of the
I
page that
don't
they're
want
going
it
to
to
be
be
reading for
overwhelming
you.
later
That way
on.
it's
As you
easier
guys
for
noticed,
you
last week,
to
I asked you to review
follow
the
along
comprehension
and chart
assignment,
miscues,
which is not due until December
mispronunciations,
15th.
missed
But
words, all of that. So I would suggest
hopefully by
that you make a
making you
copy,
review
or
it,
maybe if it's a
it'll
class
be
book that
less
you guys are
harrowing
reading, you have
and
your own
less
copy, that's
overwhelming
fine. And
when
if
we
you're
get
actually
closer and closer to
going
that
to
due
work
date.
with a selection, so
So
a
as I
text,
said, you
maybe an
open up
article
the
or
task
something like
list,
that
and
with
for
the
this
student,
week, I
then
want
you'd have to
you
have a copy of
to
that
view
as
and
well, so that
explore
they have their own copy
the
and you have your
presentation as the
copy.
first thing to do.
And
I'm
during
saying
the
that
actual
because
survey.
this entire week
In this same
is related
stream,
to
you'll
young adult
see
literature
that
and
I have provided
to
a
collaborative
rubric
strategic
for the
reading.
survey of adolescent
Last
reading,
week,
and that's
you
the
did a
second
module
link.
on reciprocal teaching and read an article on reciprocal teaching. And this week it's
gives you the
collaborative
countdown of
strategic
how
reading.
I'll be
I
grading
will
it.
tell you that
And
the
then,
two
very importantly, I
cornerstones
have also
of
given you a
reading
sample
research have really led us to
a sample survey. But this sample
quite
has two students were
confidently
interviewed for
say
this sample,
that
and I just
collaborative
want you to
strategic
do
reading
one student,
and reciprocal
one
teaching
survey,
are indeed
not two,
very
only
effective.
one. So do look at this because it's a great
tested,
sample for
there
how you
have
should go about
been
doing
many
this.
studies where these findings have been replicated.
Make sure that you're only doing this with one student, so don't let this confuse you.
Work
and again, the objective of this is to
students that
to
are
get to know your reader
a master's degree
more, to get the
special
student
education,
more.
Which will
so I would ask questions as long
working
as they're
with
not
many
too personal
readers. I really want them to become acquainted
community that they belong to.
Gain
ethnicity,
in reciprocal
who lives in
teaching
the
and
home,
collaborative
or anything
reading.
that
So
you
for this
think
week, I want you to view and explore the
are
PowerPoint
that they're willing to share, and that you think will help
you can just click
assess
in
their
here,
reading ability and the motivation.
It'll take
to
you
read,
to the PowerPoint,
and will allow you to create more.
So for this week, I want you to
lesson
complete
planning.
the IRIS module
So that's it.
on
I hope that
CSR,
this was helpful.
which is collaborative
if there are
strategic
questions,
reading. Read
after
the CSR article
you've
and
gone
take
ahead
the
and
assessment
listened
on
to this
CSR.
around the survey, please make
So
sure to
that is,
email me or text me, as you know
the
that's
expectation
even,
around
easier,
this PowerPoint.
and I'll make sure to get
when
back to you.
When it says take the assessment
Hope
for
you have a good
CSR,
rest
that
of
is
this week.
actually your exit ticket for this week. So you will run through the PowerPoint. It describes collaborative strategic reading. As you become familiar with it, you'll see that it's very similar to reciprocal teaching. I would say that collaborative strategic reading can be used with fiction, but I think it's easier to use it with nonfiction. It can be done in groups, and it can be done one-on-one. So if you work and your role as a special educator is to provide one-on-one interventions, then this is still something that can be done just with one student. So I want you to run through the PowerPoint, take notes, and then I want you to work on the IRIS module for collaborative strategic reading, which I have linked as well. And then I want you to read an article on collaborative strategic reading, which is by Vaughn and Klinger. As you will see, if you go to this tab, it's an article on using collaborative strategic reader by Jeanette Klinger, which was actually a colleague of mine, and Sharon Vaughn. Then the exit ticket for this week is related to collaborative strategic reading. So it's based on the article to some degree and on the IRIS module itself. Then for your fifth task, I want you to read Teaching the How, Critical Lenses. I think it's one of the articles that I love most in Sped 771, and you will see that there are many of them. But I think this article does an amazing job of how to teach students to read from different perspectives. And I think it teaches us, educators, how to do that really well. And more than anything, it's asking students to become more critical readers. And I think that we all know that that's important. So if you click on the 4-3, what I'm expecting you to do is read the article, which is in the week 3 folders for readings, and to create a 4-3-2-1 response for this article. When you click here, you have instructions on how to create a 4-3-2-1 response. So I think that will be self-explanatory. Then lastly, I want you to choose 2 articles from the 5 that I've listed here and to create a say, mean, matter document for each one. of those. So I would like you to copy and paste the article name, or just write in the article name and then the author or authors. And then I want you to say, basically, choose a quote from the text, including the page number, and obviously choose one that either stands out to you, is significant, or perhaps confuses you. And then I want you to read between the lines and try to explain the quote within the context of the text, and maybe even within the context of your classroom or your current educational process. And then lastly, why does the text matter in the context of today's educational climate? And this can mean, why does it matter for your population? Why does it matter for your school? Why does it matter in more general terms? I always ask my teacher candidates to think about equity in education and the lack of equity in education in many instances, and how we can create and carve spaces in our classroom where students feel supported, where they see themselves in the text, and where you create a more equitable space that they can become empowered in and by. So this is the Say Mean Matter. As you can see, the document is already set up so that you have two of them, because as I said, you're going to choose two articles from the 5 that I've done here and create that Say Mean Matter. So this is the task list for week 3. I also wanted to show you that I have created a folder entitled Week 3 Readings, and in that folder you will find that you have all of the articles that you can choose from, but you also have the Vaughn article that is linked in the task list, and a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. I've done this and I will continue to do this because I think it makes it easier to house all of the readings in one slot for you. So as you see, the tab is different because this is not an assignment. It is only material that I have created so that it's easier to find. And then the tab here for task list, again, it's just material, so you will see that it has a different icon. But now these icons are the actual assignments. So you will see here that if you click into the week 3, 4, 3, 2, 1 response, I have also included the how to write the 4, 3, 2, 1 response here, and that I am expecting you to upload your 4, 3, 2, 1 into this slot. And the same for the exit ticket. You will see the instructions of the exit ticket, and I'm expecting you to upload it here. And the same goes with your Say Mean Matter for this week. Now, before leaving you, there have also been some questions around the informal text response. So I wanted to clarify for you what I meant by that and what I'm expecting you all to do. So this slot is for the informal textual response around All-American Boys. And I'm expecting all of the informal textual responses for All-American Boys to be uploaded here. I think some of you emailed them, but I really am expecting them to be posted in here. And as I said, I'm not counting any assignments late, so you still have time to turn that in. If you click into the informal textual response, I've actually uploaded it twice as a Google Doc and then as a Word doc, just in case that there could be some situation accessing it, but do know that they're the exact same documents. So once you open up the informal textual responses, you will see that you need to create one of these for each of the novels that we read, and it could be whichever whatever you want. These are just options, right? I want the informal responses to come from these options that I have given you. So you can either write a diary or diary entry or journal as if you were a character in the text, write a letter to a character, write an essay on your novel, write a summary, write a book review, write an annotated bibliography. The list goes on and on. And then you can also take Cornell notes or create chapter maps. You can create an independent reading log, a predict, confirm, revise log. Now, the objective of these informal textual responses is for me to assess your reading of the text and for you to have, as it says here, future samples of a variety of formative assessments that you can use as models of your own for your students. What I would do, or what I'm asking you to do, is not to choose the same response twice. So I am perfectly fine with you choosing an easier one on a week that you are really, really stressed and, and short on time. But then I would also hope that maybe another week you choose something that you might put some more thought into. Remember, though, the objective of the informal textual responses and of reading the young adult literature is to remember what being a young adult is like and kind of to revisit that space emotionally. So I hope that these are fun and that you get reacquainted with what reading for pleasure was like. Because I think once we are in master's degree programs, everything we read is just for class. And I wanted to give you an opportunity so that wouldn't necessarily be the case. I hope that I've answered all of the questions regarding the Google Classroom and where to turn things in. Do know that I am, and I hope to be and continue to be, very responsive. So if there's a question, please text me or email me. I will tell you though that my response time is much quicker via text, even though I realize some things are too long to ask via text. But just know that I'm here for you and that I hope that this is a wonderful semester and you can expect more videos of this sort. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.